You made it back to Weekend at Effy's, and this weekend we've got a whole new addition to the household. We're going to be talking about our new pet chickens and where their inspirational names come from. We're going to be talking about going to Los Angeles to fight Hammerstone, of course, fighting Maki Ito in Portland, and spending a little time in Atlanta. We're making Atlanta a home now. We're having fun. We've got dogs in the window. Everybody's yelling. It's a high energy day. It's Weekend at Effy's. Follow our Patreon, weekendateffys.com, for new bonus content, a vlog that just went up that covers all of WrestleMania and a bunch of other stuff. And if you can't do that, if you can't afford it, check out the Substack. It has everything listed, all of my dates, weekendateffys.substack.com. You can like, subscribe, comment, follow, leave a question, ask us something, tell us something, and share it on the gram, share it on the, what do they call it, the gram? Whatever. It's Weekend at Effy's. They say eating a little bit of dirt every now and then is good for you, and they is chickens.
Can we bathe in dirt like chickens and birds do?
So we don't have
and chinchillas?
The oil, like they have specific furs and feathers that contain just oils, and they can't get it like wet, it'll mat. But we have just like skin, so we can scrub it. So it's like, I don't know. It's probably fine. I think like that's the concept of dry shampoo. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's getting
what the
rid
fuck
of the,
is dry shampoo?
Dry shampoo just like gets rid of the oil.
Right, but that's what the dust is doing. The dust is flicking the oil off. The dust is knocking the oil off these birds' feathers with the dust. I think we can dust ourselves to a point, but then I think like if I start sweating and then I dust and then it'll be stuck on me and then it'll get in my skin worse.
Yeah.
So it's like it has to be like chickens don't sweat, so there's no way for the dust to get wet because it's just oil unless you get it wet, but then they shake it out like this. Yeah, whatever. So welcome to, this is Professional Wrestling's #1 podcast. Professional Wrestling's #1 voice of what's Howard Stern? He's like a controversy. #1 voice of controversy from wrestling. That's right, folks. Effy here with the hottest takes and the craziest gossip. And also, I think mostly this episode is only going to be about raising our new livestock, our poultry friends, the beauty of chickens. Now, yes, I'm going to talk about wrestling. We'll talk about what I did in wrestling because it was actually kind of I kind of had an incredible weekend.
Should I introduce myself?
What do
on
you
the
mean?
podcast?
What do you mean?
Other podcasts introduce themselves, and we tend to just
I mean,
roll
it sort of
into
does
it.
feel like a you remember what's the Knights that go knee and then they get and then the
Camelot,
Spamalot,
John Cleese,
Monty Python and the
Monty
Holy Grail.
Python.
It's like that, but you're doing the horse clobbing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should be introducing yourself. I think you
Okay.
should tell me to shut the fuck up a lot of the time.
Okay.
If you haven't figured out, I'll just keep speaking, and until I'm told not to. I don't
stop speaking. My name is Peter, and I'm a chicken wrangler.
You're a chicken wrangler. Can I jump back in?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. So yeah, we are both on the podcast. You're not AI. How do we prove you're not AI like immediately? Is there?
You could watch the YouTube.
Yeah, but that they could say that's easily like that would be actually the easiest way. We have to hire a YouTube person, and for that we need like
I don't know. If you
at
look
least
at the YouTube
$10.
videos, the angle's always like a little crooked.
Why?
Because the humans making it, not AI.
Oh yeah, okay. You're saying in that function. I'm saying more in the function of like I could CGI that. Like I saw Cloverfield. You can make things look like somebody's crooked on the film.
Yeah.
Like could I ask you a question that would sort of be like the CAPTCHA that would be
Ask me a question only I would know.
did Bill Clinton actually have sexual relations with that woman?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think a robot would have danced around that one a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, while it was said by Bill Clinton himself that he did not, he was subpoenaed and perjured for lying and became impeached. Like, they wouldn't just, an AI wouldn't just be like, yeah, I think, yeah. So I think so far we've proven to the world that you're not AI. But I know you're not AI just because I've seen you with these beautiful birds. Now, I need you, this needs to be week at Peter's where conceptually, this has come up in discussion before where I've said we should get a chicken or talk, but then I was like, I'm kind of just leaving you with chickens. But the more I think that you've researched and learned, it's probably handleable.
We got more serious about the chicken conversation.
Where did it hit the serious level where I just pulled the trigger?
Where you opened the door and said, "Hey, I'll be back. I'm getting chickens."
Yeah. So you had gotten home late from work, and I had sent some text messages. So I couldn't use any friends' cars, so I literally went to Hertz, and I rented a truck, and I drove to South Atlanta, and I got 5 chickens. I picked up 5 laying hens. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I just want to say wrestlers are not always the smartest people in the world. I love them. They have a lot of enthusiasm and fun and creativity. Not always the smartest people in the world. And they said, well, how's it going to lay eggs? And I said, what do you mean? They said, you don't have a rooster. I said, right, because I don't want chicks. I want eggs.
And they're illegal.
So I need you to understand every month the woman in your life that you know ovulates, and it comes out as a period for humans. And chickens, they ovulate every 24 to 26 hours. And the ovulation, the word ovule, it's egg is the basis of that word.
Oval?
They period eggs for us to eat. Every day. Almost every day. It's like there's a weird sun cycle with it. Chickens are on a different earth cycle than us, which lets us know that they are from a time when there was more sun on our earth. Did you know that? I made that up.
Interesting.
But that could be true.
Yeah.
Because, you're talking about, and here's the thing, too.
If it's a bigger lizard, it's going to mean more sunlight.
Right.
Because it's cold-blooded.
Right.
So I think you're onto something. That's how the dinosaurs thrived, is there was more sunlight.
Yeah. So it made their skin tough? Do you think it made their skin tough, having so much sunlight? So here's the thing with these creatures. Billions of years old in their evolution, because, one look at picking up a chicken, and I learned the proper way, so it's not fun, but they settle right in.
Okay.
You do a scoop around the side so you get the wings, you scoop it in, and then you hold the legs.
Okay.
And they won't kick or be able to flutter, and it'll just hang out there. And it feels weird having to hold the legs, but it's the only way you can get them not to, kick, and then they won't shoot up.
Okay.
So we're going to practice. It's very easy just to lightly move them if you wrap around the wings and around the belly, but they can kick those legs, and the legs are wild. And the legs are the main point of why I want to say humans, not just wrestlers, also pretty dumb. I looked at this thing going around for roughly 20 seconds, and I've been around chickens, but not our chickens. And I looked and I said, oh yeah, of course that's a dinosaur. Of course it is. There's no other. Yeah. Oh, it's a bird. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do some fucking research, people, because what does birds come from? Dinosaurs. Okay. That's a fucking velociraptor. Do you feel like Chris Pratt when you're with the chickens? Like when he had his raptor crew, and that you have your blue.
You could have picked so many other people from many different. You could have even picked the new.
He was the only one that had the pack under control, Peter. Chris Pratt. It's a me, Mario. Star-Lord, hello. Did you even watch Parks and Rec? How many seasons of Parks and Rec did you watch?
Do you think
when he was Burt Macklin?
His kids, when they watch him in those movies, that it's not real and that Noah existed with dinosaurs?
Yeah, but he has to carry the cross up the hill every year. I'm functionally certain that Chris Pratt is an avoidance Christian, which is when you become a Christian to avoid dealing with people.
Okay.
The same thing as Tom Cruise with the Scientology.
We're talking Larry David MAGA hat.
Yes, it's a full Larry David MAGA hat, and you just when you're on the red carpet and they're like, "What are you wearing?" You're like, "Oh, I'm wearing a Tom Ford suit with my wife tonight, my new wife. We are blessed by the angels of God, and the covenant has started to read towards our faith." And guess what? They stop talking to you. And then you see them out in public, and they're a Whataburger, and you get the kids to start reciting Bible verses, and they stop talking to you. And it seems like I'm going to have to choose a religion of my own, but it has to be kind of an annoying religion. I think just because I've seen a lot of the boys that are selling it, they're selling the religion to me, I'm going to be a Mormon. I'm going to be an avoidance Mormon.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I think I can turn those twinks.
Okay.
And I think if someone came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, like, it's so good to see you. What have you been up to? And I tell them that I've been working with my LDS ministry, and would they like to learn more about the Latter-day Saints, they leave me and my harem of boy wives alone. They call them elders. Come, elders, we need to learn of Joseph Smith and his golden tablets. Are you boys up to snuff on your reading? You know you can float in the salt lake. I think at that point, I'm like 57. I'm horrible. I'm hopefully somewhat retired. And anytime you want to talk to me at the post office or at the grocery store, you can. It'll be awesome for like the first few minutes. And then you got to decide, do you want to go Tony Atlas to Tony Atlas with me on can you get through the kayfabe of me being a Mormon to avoid a real human contact? Is this too dark to start us off, Peter?
No, I just don't know if you're picking the right one.
Which one would you pick?
I think you need to pick something a little ickier. Because Mormons are too nice and cool and hot. Is this just because you want to be a hot Mormon?
What?
You want to join the club?
I want to be in charge of hot
They're all
Mormons.
hot. It's like a requirement.
Yeah, but if they're not hot, they're definitely not converting anybody.
That's true.
Yeah. So back to chickens.
My Mormon friend in high school went to Australia on his mission and came back not Mormon and gay.
I'll tell you this. Australia doesn't change anything about you. It just gives you permission. Does that make a little more sense?
I think that should be the motto.
The motto. Welcome to Australia, where you have permission to be yourself. Mate, you've got full permission to be yourself. Oh, don't touch the koala there. Don't get in the pouch. You're not supposed to drink koala milk. It's disgusting. Out in the bush, you know? Let me tell you what happens in the bush stays in the bush, baby.
Bring him back.
So,
Bring Bush back.
Bring the bush back?
Bring the president back.
Oh. Let me tell you a secret. We have a new pope. I just want to confirm. Mm-hmm. You gave me some pope facts. Mm-hmm. Popes, always losers.
For the astrology nerds out there, the time was Leo o'clock with the sun in the 10th house in Taurus, and the Pope's name is Leo.
Yeah, and he knew that. They know that. If these girls follow astrology, because look at them. They're locked up in a castle wearing dresses together, taking votes. Bitch, come on. That's...
First American.
Is it American?
It's an American.
Oh, no.
Chicago.
Oh, so he's seen things. Pope's a loser, always has been. I don't care if he's a cool Chicago guy who likes deep dish and Steamworks.
In Conclave, there's that whole part of it where they say you don't know about the mission that we've been doing in blank country.
Right.
What country?
I thought it was like Ethiopia or...
Oh, damn, it's not Peru.
No.
Oh, it was
an African country.
We got slightly close to an actual conclave.
Well, so here's the question. With the Pope being a Chicago Pope, right? I'm going to ask you a few Chicago traditions, and you're going to tell me if you think the new Pope, Leo,
all of my entire filter or lens for Chicago is the one day that I spent there where I went catatonic in the snow after seeing it for the first time, and then bought candy from a weird little like alleyway. That's the only thing I remember about it. Everything else comes from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay,
good. Movie I've seen close to 100 times.
And I think you'll understand the bit I'm doing here in a minute. I'm not doing a bit. This is real. But I think you will. I think you're going to.
Something you mean.
So let's say this. Do you think Pope Leo's been to the bean? You know the bean? The big silver bean? Yeah, the big reflective silver bean.
Everybody's been to the bean.
Okay, probably.
Right?
Yeah, do you think he's been to the art museum there, the Art Institute? They have a beautiful set of like old Italian Catholic art.
Catholics like art.
Catholics, I love art. Am I Catholic? Should I be Catholic?
I think that's the better one.
Yeah, it might be. Do you think the Pope has been to Steamworks?
What's Steamworks?
It's the gay men's bathhouse. And then I have a special question from Pero on this one. Do you think the Pope has tasted Malort? Are you familiar with Malort? The Chicago bitters alcohol that's very specialty to the region, and it's
that
horrible
one's
tasting.
100%.
You think he's done a communion shot of
I think
Malort?
he's drinking some right now.
Yeah, having a little Malort celebration. And here's the one from Pero. This is Pero's question. This is why I started it. Do you think he knows what I've done at Jackhammer and or Cell Block? Both of these are gay nightclub circuit party places that have secret back rooms, and that seems to be the question that's being asked.
So my because I've been doing these late nights at the Dick store, I will take a 2 a.m. Lyft ride home.
Yeah,
and
from the Dick store, of course.
From the Dick store, and it is either loud praise and worship music, or you want to know everything about the club attached to the store that I actually don't work at. And last night I was informed about the Chicago club scene.
Oh yeah, it's rowdy. It's also like why I avoid going out with Pero in Chicago. Love him, mean it. I can't. There's like if you're an addict, you don't go hang out at the liquor store,
right? And
if you're really loving the scene, you don't need to be there. I need to go to the hotel room and go to bed. I don't need to be out till 5:30 in the morning with the whole pup crew. It's a dark way to end a night. Good for you though. Yeah. So Pero's belief though, this is called Pero's Corner, is that the Catholics really are trying to send a message that Trump is evil by picking an American from a liberal city who's spent all his time in South America. So we'll see. I don't know. But I will say, just, as a final moment, Pope's a loser.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Yeah. Yeah. Go look at the Wikipedia. We won't say any more on that one.
So you yourself named our chickens.
I did.
And I went with the names because I thought they were perfect. And they really have
Should I just say the names?
I think you should say the names, and then we can put it together for people.
Nicole, Laura, Reese, Zoe, and Shailene.
Yes.
All 5.
All 5. And if there was a 6th, I think this will really help people. If there was a 6th, It would have been Meryl. You have chosen the actresses who portrayed all of the women in Big Little Lies.
Yes.
If we would have gotten a rooster, you would have had an Alexander Skarsgård rooster, with a big
piece
cock.
Of shit.
Piece of shit with a huge cock, and probably should be killed.
They are so far taking after their personalities. Nicole is the dominant one.
The dominant queen. The pecking order seems to be Nicole at the top.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman. Someone said Nicole Chickman or Chickman.
And then I would say probably close after would be Reese. Reese and Nicole tend to be, it seems that the two of them are hanging out pretty consistently. Laura is an independent lady, very vocal.
Yeah, and she's hanging out with me a good bit. I was training her to come up the stairs, that's Laura.
Yeah, she walked up there.
I was using the food
in
my hand to have her.
Yeah, she walked up there on her own. I took a photo of her up there.
She couldn't quite figure out how to get down right away, and then kind of saw she could do it. But I'm trying to train them. Allegedly they're Rhode Island Reds, these hens that we got, and they have very subtle personalities, but they also can be trained to do tricks. And listen, Miss Laura was following me around this morning, and Nicole yesterday was poking at my toes. So I think there's friendship there. It is fun to have them eat from your hand because they're very direct about it, but it doesn't hurt. They're doing their best, but it's just like a little.
And then Cheyenne and Zoe are the ones. Shailene, excuse me.
Shailene. You remember her in Ferrari?
Shailene laid the first egg.
Shailene Woodley did lay the first egg, and it was back in the bamboo patch. They have a lot of space to mess around with, and they like the shade of the trees. They really like.
It's so we had this thought for a while. It was just we could do this at some point.
I thought it was going to be a lot more
there's
work.
A chicken coop in the backyard, and then as we started to do the research and looked at the coop, we went, no, everything's here. We literally just need the chickens.
Yeah, I think I figured out why they have that tarp under the coop, so they can pull the tarp out, dump the shit.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get sand for that dust bath and for under that, just so it's easy to. You can kind of cat litter it that way of what's been falling out.
Yeah.
We're talking about poop here this week. But this I think what's fascinating is I'm here this whole week. I'm going to be here this weekend, and then I'm going to leave on the 16th. I'm not going to come back till the 25th. So there will be a nice 9-day period of you really getting some solo time with these chickens. And I hope that it is rewarding and that I can come back and get some new tips and tricks from you and the squad about how to best approach them.
Yeah, it's really just opened up a lot. It feels like
it's good. I felt joy. I felt genuine joy everywhere. I saw joy from you. I was excited to wake up today and go look and see.
You took a photo. We posted it on the Instagram. You took a photo of myself and Nicole, and it was just such a genuine smile for me. And it's just, I don't know. It's lovely to have that.
What did you think when I opened your door and said, "I'm going to go get these chickens"? You thought it was 100% at that point?
I don't know. Like
the steps I had to go through were a mess, if I'm being honest.
I will say it is incredibly nice to have an idea, talk about something, and to have you execute it perfectly. You really took care of everything.
I love it, and I was excited to do so. It was so fun meeting the lady who sold me the chickens, because I pulled up. They had signs up that was like they were selling their own eggs, they were selling ducks, they were selling chickens, they were selling chicks. And I pull up in the truck that I rented, this big ass truck with a big ass dog kennel in it. I got a huge dog kennel because I got rid of the other one for some reason. And she walks out from the pond. She's got a pond next to her house. We by the coops. There's roosters everywhere. There's baby ducks in a kennel. There's other chickens and ducks just walking around. Her husband's just throwing feed off the porch. She's walking over with her fishing rod. She goes, "You got the $100?" I said, "Yep," and gave her 100 cash. And she goes, "Well, I'll load them in there. Bring it over." And just we walk up to the other cage she has them in, a very much smaller cage, which I guess is fine. And they like to sit together, and we put them in there, and they were chatty right away. She said they might be scared. They might stay in the coop a while. Might want to keep them, pretty tight. But they seem to be really taken to the yard, and there seems to be a lot of food options. Mm-hmm. They have their own grit to kind of pull from in the dirt, with the sand, with the rocks, and lots of shade and hopefully lots of eggs.
And the video that you sent me from Allie of the Jersey tree chickens.
The tree chickens. Well, Miss Nicole was trying to escape earlier too. They've got. I don't think they can get out. I've seen them flap, and it's really a glide down. I mean, the Legend of Zelda really pulled this. Now they don't chase you like that, though. I will say, I put the camera selfie style, and I was streaming them last night. I streamed them for like an hour on Twitch. And then my cell went out, my signal went out. When they see the camera and they see themselves on it, they come right up to it, and they come right up to the screen, and they mess with the screen. One of them, I thought directly she was just trying to turn the whole thing off and be done with it. Really crazy to watch this, like, interact with that. We got a mirror for them. That'll be good. They seem to like that. But I think, it's very peaceful to go out there with the chickens. Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where, like, if they get more comfortable, I just keep trying to pet them when I can.
Yeah.
Just so they know, like, when I approach and I'm coming, it's not anything. It'll never be anything bad.
Well, I'm about to get up close and personal with them here in a minute. Then try and clean them.
Oh, yeah, get them a little cleaned up. Yeah, I mean, listen, they're coming off a little filthy farm, and rock and roll. It's awesome. She said we can come get some ducks if we want. I don't know. We'll see how things go. The duck, we're going to get Bebop to tolerate chickens before we really move into things that will bite his little feet.
Lucy, totally chilling, interested, was trying to dig underneath just to see what was going on, but she was out there with him running around and didn't have much to say about it. Bebop just immediately took after Nicole, and she flew away.
Yeah, she don't want none of that shit. And he'll have to learn quickly. Like, we'll have to just... If there ever was a dog who needed to learn consequence, it was young Robert B. Bobertson.
Yeah.
That boy needs to be snipped a little by a chicken, and he'll be perfectly fine and healthy, but he will never go back. One snip from a chicken, he will never go back.
I think it's going to be Laura.
I hope.
I think Laura's going to pop him.
I hope.
She's got that slightly crooked beak.
Yeah. She's be eating. Hey, I just be eating. I love it. Everybody I've told is excited. You know, my brother's having a second baby, so I sent him pictures of my chickens. we're having very different lives right now, but it's both beautiful. My dad said I'm a hippie, and I kind of agree. I see the Grateful Dead, and then a month later, I've got chickens in my house. You know, how quickly do you become a full hippie? I've been listening to a lot of Scarlet Begonias, you know, just really getting into the live versions. A lot of the post 10 minutes really noodles its way back into your mindscape, you know? And when I'm collecting eggs, just like, why not noodle? How was that? Did it feel authentic? Did it feel real?
A little too real.
No, besides that, I did do some sick stuff this weekend. Now, what's crazy is...
Do we want to do questions?
Yeah, we have to do questions.
Okay.
We also had to do a chicken intro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we have to talk about chickens.
Totally. I just don't know if we wanted to get too much further out.
We can do questions. I might raise our questions today. Let's go. We're going to knock them out. I'm going to give thoughtful answers deeply. They may include chicken knowledge. They may include knowledge I've learned from chickens.
Okay. This is from Machete Von Kill.
Hello.
Did you celebrate Star Wars Day? And are you a Jedi or a Sith?
I'm whatever Anakin wants me to be, so I guess I'm a Sith, but I also am probably more of a Jedi in my heart. But so was Anakin, but he was broken by the Council and by his love and by his endless visions from the novelization that were causing him so much grief post-Clone War. I mean, really, PTSD was a thing we were looking at that time, you know? And for Anakin to go through what he did, I celebrated Star Wars Day my own way, which is from a distance, and I haven't watched episode 3 back yet, and I didn't get to watch it in the theaters. When are they doing a Clone Wars drop, though? Hey, Attack of the Clones.
So at work, there is a unlogged in Reddit that is just the blend of everyone's personality and searches at work.
Okay.
And so I see the prequel memes subreddit quite a bit just pop up on there.
Yeah.
And they've been doing worst recastings for specific characters, like who is the worst person to play said character from the prequels.
Yeah.
I want to hear who you would cast as Anakin now, though.
In which movie age?
The prequel. Oh, no, like regular, not young boy. Like ignore.
Like as
pod
he's
racing.
a warrior.
Yeah. So replace Hayden
becoming.
Christensen.
I'm
with
replacing
someone.
Hayden Christensen. This is kind of difficult, but kind of hot.
Okay.
Hold up. Let me go.
You can take a second to think. We can hit another question.
I have to go deep into the recesses. When you were thinking of good castings, though, I was going to say John Waters as Qui-Gon Jinn. John Waters in the Liam Neeson role.
Okay.
And he just really knows how to use that saber.
Okay.
And then when Maul kills him, he goes, "Oh God."
Who do you replace fucking Ewan with? And maybe this helps with your Anakin.
Maybe Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
And then I think Anakin, I do. This is going to be really crazy.
Okay.
Current day Justice Smith from I Saw the TV Glow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's who I choose.
Interesting. Do you want to hear my choice?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just Stavi.
You're talking about Stavros Halkians, comedian.
Just him doing him.
Okay, I love it. I'm here for that. I would also cast him as Han Solo pretty easily.
Oh yeah, that's
like
great.
Very quickly, a young Han
That's
Solo.
great.
You just do Stavi, and everybody's like, "That doesn't look like Han Solo."
Yeah.
And you're like, How do you know what Han Solo looks like? You don't know anything. Look at how cool he looks in his vest. You know what I mean? Like that's okay. I like where you're at. I went with my heart. I think they have the chops to really bring the sadness, because that's what the key to that Anakin is. It's not when he's cool or when he's badass. It's like when he's sad. You have to see it in his eyes without him showing it in his lips.
Okay, next question. This is from Julie. Has Effy been to the pickle bar at the LA Farmers Market, aka Caitlin and Kaylin Pickles? If not, please look it up and supply thoughts.
Oh, this sounds awesome. I want pickles. I don't. The last time I was in LA was for 14 hours. So that was this weekend, and we'll get to that. Wait, this is Kaylin and Kaylin Pickles?
Ooh.
No, I love pickles. I think pickles have gone too far a little bit. Kaylin and Kaylin Pickles. Not Caitlin and Caitlin. Kaylin and Kaylin Pickles. Oh, honey mustard. Give me all the pickles. Okay. Honey mustard pickles, spicy honey mustard pickles, jalapeno pickles, sweet heat, horseradish pickles, bread and butter, spicy dill chips, garlic spheres, hot blonde jar, big pick energy, and the Tana package. Oh, is this the porn star?
The I Heart Big Pickles hat is fantastic.
Yes, I will say, I do want to say this about the price of the pickles. Too high for me. Very expensive pickles, but I think pickling... you just showed up with a whole bunch of ball jars.
Yeah.
I think you're going to pickle.
Yeah.
I see you pickling in the future.
My mom used to pickle when I was growing up.
Pickles and ravioli?
Because
How do you know about
can't
that?
really get like pickles in Kenya.
So she has to do it on her own. What's the temperature deal with pickling? You got to heat it a little bit, right?
I believe so.
Like
It's been such a long time.
I feel like you just slightly heat the vinegar before you add it to the pickle.
And then it's just in the fridge for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. Long time. And I think you can pickle... I had pickled apples one time, and I can't give you the full story because I was naked eating them, but someone gave me
pickled apples.
Cinnamon apple pickles, and they fucking ruled. They were delicious. Now, the pickle gummy, that's the worst thing I've had pickle-wise.
Ooh.
I did see they have like a pickle for loco kind of thing going on now, which seems... I don't know. It seems like a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Should we try one of the warhead pickles?
Sure. I don't know. My body's like reacting to this.
Yeah, you're getting a little physically uncomfortable even hearing about a Kool-Aid pickle. Ugh, you can get them at some of the gas stations.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have the pickled eggs, they have the pickled feet, and they have the boiled peanuts, and they have the pickles, regular pickles, and sweet pickles. Spicy pickles?
I love spicy pickle. A wickle? Have you ever had a wickle?
No, but I do remember doing, when I used to drink so much, I used to drink bourbon almost exclusively, and doing the pickle juice Tabasco sauce shots with the pickle backing. You do it with the spicy pickle juice, and that thing is clear.
I had a big gin phase.
Gin? What are you ginning with? Just a tonic or a soda or
just gin.
7-Up? Just gin.
It
Gin.
goes
Or
down
just
pretty,
gin.
I mean, you get the right stuff, it goes down pretty smooth.
Yeah, I could do a gin martini or 8. This is why I can't drink anymore. This is why both of us need to be raising chickens and doing things with our hands so that we do not go to the bar. It's not dark. It's real. We'll try the pickles. If somebody brings me pickles, I'll eat them. But I also cannot travel with pickles. So if you're bringing me bulk pickles on the road, maybe don't, because what am I supposed to do with them? I can't put them in my suitcase. I can barely fit my fucking championship in there. Truly.
Favorite comfort movie? Name one. Name a comfort movie.
All right, somebody brought this movie up the other day, which was the Buttercream Gang, which I found out was Christian propaganda. What?
You just like activated.
Yeah, it's Christian propaganda. Did you know that?
Deep within me.
Do you remember this movie? Do you remember the basic plot of the Buttercream Gang?
Buttercream Gang.
It was like if Stand By Me was for fucking losers.
Shit.
All right.
What was the company that made these?
I thought it was focused on the family base, but it might just be like family movie things.
It was feature films for families.
Feature films for families,
which
it's
is
Christian
focused
as
on
fuck.
the family.
Yeah, so it's Christian as fuck. But the Buttercream Gang was a movie that I was allowed to watch when I was like 8 or something. You know, that like seemed like a real movie kids would watch. You know how like when you're a kid and you're hearing about movies, you're like, damn, like I wish I could watch movies. Like, why haven't I been allowed to watch Friday the 13th? Or like, why do I have to sneak over to that guy's house to watch The Matrix? You know, what's up with that? You know, why am I not allowed to watch Captain Planet? But you know what you find out later on? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Guess what? I'm a grown person now. All right? And did those things make my life any better? Not really. Did taking them from me create an air of intrigue and mystery? Yeah.
It's showing up in a lot of Mormon things.
It sounds Mormon-esque. Here's the plot of the movie. The Buttercream Gang, they're a good group of friends.
Okay.
And they're good kids. But then little Johnny, I think is his name, goes to New York and becomes a bad kid. And they got to bring him back to being a good kid and not be a bad kid so the Buttercream Gang can live forever. I think they make a new friend along the way. I think the Buttercream Gang grows.
Interesting.
The Buttercream Gang.
So it's not focus on the family related, but it's the same. I'm almost wondering if we had this because anything other Christian religion was like not okay whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
but
the idea of having a secret Mormon film, because we own this.
I'm saying I don't think
VHS.
people knew it was a secret Mormon film. I think it was just sold as good Christian entertainment, which the Mormons want you to believe they are.
The Secret of Treasure Mountain. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, with the leprechaun guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the thing. We both have these comfort memories of these movies because of our family's involvement with the Christian church. So you have to know that many people at home are going, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. But maybe they do. Maybe these permeated more.
If you do know what we're talking about, you're losing your mind right now.
Yeah, I hope so. But I got to say, The Secret of the Waterfall, when there was supposed to be gold back there, but then maybe it was the love of our friends, neighbors, and those around us respecting the Lord's wrath.
What about Kingdom Chums?
I did not see Kingdom Chums. Was that
Kingdom
pirate
Chums was the 10 Commandments done in like doo-wop rock and roll style to where there was a Little Richard ripoff character called Little David that was a raccoon that played guitar.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Little David the raccoon.
And so it would
was
take
Little
you
Richard.
through the 10 Commandments.
Did he
with different songs.
was he internalizing his homophobia as well? Just like Little Richard? I'm going to play gospel music now. That way I won't want to think about dick. That's my Little Richard impression. I'm sorry, y'all. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to wish on a person. I wish you all freedom and success in being yourselves. But think of how much good music we got because Little Richard couldn't stop thinking about sucking dick. A lot of good songs. Good golly, Miss Molly. You heard the original lyrics of that? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to keep this bit going. I'd answer that. I would also say The Neverending Story, I feel like, was a movie that was comfort put on a lot of times as a child. When I hear comfort, I think childhood. I don't think of like now. What about you, Peter?
Neverending Story, I think, was like responsible for an interesting mental state growing. I think I felt a lot of melancholy watching that.
I think you're supposed to. I think it's like when your parents haven't taught you how to process grief and loneliness and the sorrows of the world, you need films like The Neverending Story to step in and do it.
Yeah.
And to understand it.
Oh, gosh. If we're going like childhood comfort movies, it really would be, and I don't know if we talked about it before, but Fievel Goes West.
Yeah?
Like, I really watched that quite a bit.
Mousies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really good animated movies like that I think would fall in that category.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to say that the Blade, the 3 Blade movies, anytime those are on, I feel full comfort. Even Blade Trinity is so silly, but it has Triple H in it. Any Blade movie on, comfort for me. Kind of that way with Die Hard too. Like if a Die Hard movie's on, or a Lethal Weapon movie's on, I'm just leaving it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm trying to think. What is that one? It's Speed.
Speed to Cruise Control.
Mm-hmm.
Willem Dafoe.
Mm-hmm. Hopper.
Oh, is it not Willem Dafoe?
Willem
is it
Defoe in the second one?
Yeah, Defoe's in the second one.
Oh, great. That's the ship?
Yeah, the cruise ship.
Yeah, I don't think I really watched
Speed
that
2 Cruise
one
Control.
ever.
It's not good, but it does have Sandra Bullock and Willem Dafoe, and he's ridiculous, and half the plot points don't add up completely. No Keanu.
Men in Black.
Oh.
Men in Black.
What about the new one?
I don't care about anything past the first. The first one is perfect.
The new one, it felt like they filmed it while they were filming Thor. Like just to the side studio, like, we'll do a day on, day off. Because it's the same actors, and then they're just like kind of on green screen. Yeah. I don't know. Felt very like, you do a 2-movie deal for us. We're going to film you a store, and at the same time, you're the Men in the Black. From future Men in Black. A new one, it's a reboot. How's that? How's my Hollywood?
What
Hollywood
do you
cigar
call
guy?
A clever clock?
Oh, I don't know.
Clockwise.
clockwise. I was going to call it grandfather or something. I don't know why I was thinking like that. You ever moved a grandfather clock? I'm so glad, like, our generation doesn't give a fuck about stuff like that.
There was a decades-long fight about a grandfather clock that my parents won in a raffle.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is so silly.
Because my grandparents really felt some kind of way about the fact that they had to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And my parents thought it was ridiculous that they would even think about sending it to Africa.
Damn.
Caused some problems.
Mm-hmm. You should have just done the kid thing and just smashed it. You can just knock them over. Nah, it's good. We survived here now. If I had a grandfather clock, I'd probably just put it in the yard. You know what I mean? Yard clock.
My parents finally got the clock. This is dark. I should say that when my grandfather killed himself.
All right,
made everybody feel bad about it.
Hey, listen, somebody's got to do it.
You got to take the clock.
Ugh. Well, congratulations to the clock, I guess. Which may the victor go the spoils, right? I don't know. Real interesting insight today, Peter. Between this and the mini set, I'm learning so much.
I know.
You're definitely not AI. Guaranteed. Now, you remember last week I did that show with Lil Scrappy in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop Atlanta. I did more Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I did more Atlanta. Now, I got to tell you something. Even being near the house, I got up there early to do the seminar, which was great. It's awesome. I sat in this building way too long. I could have come home for a while and chilled with the dogs and then gone back up there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm already here. Whatever, I'll chill. So I was, I had a flan from the Krog Market and I was at the show. I was vibing. By the time I went on that night against Bryce Cannon, I think my body had just gotten rid of every drop of water that it had ever had in it. Because it was a no AC back of a warehouse of this it's a cool venue. It's a sick venue, but the rear part of it is a warehouse. And so they have the side doors open, but it's airflow is not the best.
Right.
And I've just been sitting in this building since 2 p.m. and I've just been melting in a leather chair, sticking to it. And that is the most dehydrated I have felt in a ring in forever. But the brilliance of it, me and Bryce Cannon, we have a match. We have a whole thing. He gets popped in the head with a paddle. Remember he popped me with a paddle? I popped him back with a paddle. So that's what you get for messing with me. I sound really tough there. That's what you get for messing with me. And I was able to go right home, but I did like the idea that I was I'm just walking there, I'll walk back. Then it starts pouring raining. So I was there and I was stuck in the freaking drizzling downpours over by Krog, and I was I can make it, and most of it's tunnel, whatever, I'll suffer. Teriyaki stepped in. Shout out Teriyaki, king and legend. And Teriyaki drove me back to the house and dropped me off, and it was awesome. I made it here. I survived. What
it's
does
a
he matter?
Squirrel.
It's a squirrel?
It's a squirrel.
Jeez Louise, kid. You got to act grown. I came right home to the dogs. It was awesome. It was very magical. And you were here, weren't you?
Yeah.
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 And then I was pretty tired, I think, because I had to fly out at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it was. My gosh. Flew out at 5 a.m. I will say, though, we had hotel rooms handled right away in LA. It was good. It was clean. And I found out there are 2 Courtyard Marriotts right by the airport that have the same name. And I got in one of the wrong, what do you call it? The shuttle buses?
Mm-hmm.
But we figured it out. We got to the right one.
You did really well on the floor hotel sign category the other day.
I've been in some hotels. I think I've stayed in every hotel that I saw in there except for maybe the Waldorf Astoria, Everything else, though, I'm in and I just want to say this. Other hotel brands, get it the fuck together. Hilton Honors, this app is insane. All right? Now, if I was going to go check into a room that Brett got me, right? Brett would have to get the room, and then it would be in my name, and then I'd have to go check in, and then I'd have to go put my card down, and then I'd have to get my key, and if somebody else needed it, get the key. No. With Hilton Honors, you can send the room key to your phone, which uses the RFID chip to just open the room up. The app has the hotel key inside of it, and I can just have it sent to me, and I can get right in the room. It has changed so much of how my night is. I don't have to stop and like do a whole interaction with people and be like, hey, like, how are you? All right. Oh, what's it? Oh, it's under his name. Okay. Well, I need to add my name. Okay. Well, they need to call. Okay. All right. And we can't check into, no, the key is just sent and I'm in the room and it's that easy. It's magic. If these other hotels don't get with this is like, I can see how there would be some fraud, possibly.
Yeah, but also just think about how chilled the fuck out all the hotel employees are going to be,
right?
Not having to have that same conversation.
You have the card on there,
and
and you have your credit card on there, and you have your reservation on there, and you open the fucking door. Holy shit. It's incredible. It's magic. Yeah, you know what they have to deal with now? Can I get another toothpaste? Because let me tell you, I'm leaving a toothpaste. And you know why? What's the consequence of leaving a toothpaste, Peter? I go to the front desk of the next place, which I have to anyway most of the time, and I say, I need a toothpaste. And then they just give you a toothpaste. Why would I ever buy toothpaste? I buy it for the house. I buy it for here. But on the road, and I'll have a toothpaste, they just give you a toothpaste. You know, I've even seen that they're this big now, and they still have the lid on top. And you can get 3. Can I get 3 toothpastes? And then you just look in your bag. There's always a toothpaste there. There's always a little baby toothpaste. It's vibing in your bag. Maybe you left one. Probably did. Probably woke up and had to rush out. Hey. Probably woke up and had to rush out. And guess what? I've already got one. Hey, does anybody have toothpaste? Everywhere I've ever been has toothpaste. Look at Bobby. Bobby's so worried that the chickens are having my heart and not him. Come here. Are you worried? I need you to talk to us. Do you want to hang out with the chickens? Do they make you scared? I feel your heart when you go outside with them. I feel how your heart gets a pounding because you love the little chickens and you want to eat them, but you can't. You can't eat the chickens. They're my friends. They're giving us eggs. You like eggs, don't you? I've seen you eat eggs, okay? You have to trust me on this one. You have to be a leader for these chickens. You have to scare away squirrels and birds and hawks, and you have to protect these chickens. It's all we have. It's all we have in our heart. So I get to LA. I chill in the hotel. That's my angel, my boy. And then I have to go face one of the toughest challenges I've faced thus far as GCW champion. Look at my boy. What? He doesn't look.
You just let out a little yawn.
He's a baby. It was going to be Effy versus Hammerstone. Is it Alex Hammerstone? I only call him Hammerstone. I only have ever called him Hammerstone. That's a guy who doesn't need a first name.
You're correct.
I'm
Alexander
correct.
Hammerstone.
But I don't need a first name. He should have never had a first name. Hammerstone is one name. And you see the guy? Are you looking at a picture of Hammerstone? Yeah. Tell me that guy needs to have the word Alex anywhere near Hammer. He is a Hammerstone of stone.
We're the same kind of white guy.
Which is kind of gingery.
The whatever that template that God had. Like, obviously, I don't look like him. But I'm just saying we started at the same place.
Similar eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also used to be quite the young twink with long hair and kind of an emo boy. So, like, there are old school pictures of Alex Hammerstone where, honestly, with your haircut now, kind of, that as a 120-pound twink,
it's
in.
Kind of European.
Yeah, like you wouldn't want to have cornrows because of your Viking heritage. Yeah. Because that's actually false. I saw a TikTok. Right? Look at this guy. He has been so desperate for attention since these chickens have gotten here yesterday, and so confused that he's just cuddled right in. She would not leave my bed last night. She just wanted to hang out with me and stay near me.
Did you hear me come home last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I let her go.
The two of them just promptly trotted right out.
Yeah, I know. That's how it goes. It doesn't bother me. If he wants to go, he can go. It's fine. Look at him trying to get away now. Oh, so Hammerstone, if you haven't seen him before, if you're like new to it, is like 300 pounds of pure literal muscle. And it is daunting as a competitor. So I was like, I'm not going to beat this guy on strength. I felt big. Like, I feel strong. I feel powerful. But I was like, I'm not beating this guy on power. I'm not bigger than him. I think we're the same height, and he can just like fly around. So I knew the only way that I was going to win this in any capacity was if I could just suffer enough. And God, did I suffer. I was thrown on my head. I was thrown on my back. I was powerbombed twice. I was kicked to the ground. I was thrown around like a rag doll. And, sometimes you just have to be the more clever. You have to be a clever girl, like my pack of raptors, led by Nicole Blue Kidman, the legendary raptor girl. Our chickens aren't raptors, though, are they? That's a whole different kind of bird.
Yeah, that's a whole other different.
But it's like a hawk.
Yeah, that's like a type of bird.
Yeah, but a chicken's not like that. A chicken's more like one of those little running birds that they had in the Lost World.
A flightless fowl.
A flightless fowl, a poultry, if you will. The fowl. What would be a fowl? A guinea?
Do you think watching chicken run will make us paranoid that they're going to escape?
No, because we're not killing them here. Oh. They were under threat of death. They didn't. It's not that. Okay, bye. Okay. Oh, he's the one who wanted to leave, Peter. I tried. He's the one who wanted to jump to the floor like a little crazy boy. That's what he wanted. No, I think they were under threat of danger of killed, right?
Yeah, right.
So these are not.
Right.
And that means they're going to want to stay here to be our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. We'll see after this bath.
We'll see after this bath. I kind of want to watch you from a distance on this, so I think this is going to be interesting. But I'll help. I know I'll help. I got nothing to lose. But we do need to wear them the fuck out because they have been on.
I think they should get the priority here. I think the birds will be fine.
The birds are fine. The birds are 100% fine. But the bushes are not fine. I got to get out on those bushes. They keep growing faster. It's scaring the shit out of me. Now, Hammerstone, I did slightly defeat, which was very good. Guess what time my flight was the next day? That's right, 6 a.m. Brett, don't put me on a 6 a.m. flight again. I get it, though. We had to get to Portland, and it's like the flight options were like really early or don't make the show because it was a 5 o'clock show in the afternoon. Portland is... You've never been to Portland. I went to Portland recently. Wait, you have been to Portland? Seattle. You're a Seattle baby.
Seattle.
It's their similarities.
I've been to the Republican part of Oregon.
Oh, what is that called? Bend?
I guess whatever the other. My parents used to have supporters out there that would live.
That
in
makes
like a
sense.
Fucking ranch or something.
Every time you bring that up, like the supporters and having to go to the churches and do that, all I remember is that damn harp girl. Thinking they were just milking this harp girl to giving missionary donations to their family. We're a missionary. We need your money, and watch our daughter play the harp.
There was one spot where they made chocolate rocks. Have you ever had chocolate rocks?
Oh, I love a good chocolate rock.
We went to the chocolate rock factory, and I met Harrison Ford in a parking lot.
What? Mm-hmm. Why has this never once come up?
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this one before.
Did you?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember Harrison
Ford. The
Ford.
reason that I was told it was definitely him was because he said it wasn't him and walked off, and the people I was with were like, yeah, that was Harrison Ford.
That's awesome. Once again, Harrison Ford, all you have to do is come up with a religion, and they won't talk. Maybe they were so religion that they couldn't. They said, this is, he's like, I can't even come up with anything.
Yeah.
I'm a Mormon. I don't know. Whatever it takes. I think that he is probably also there because he's a fan of chocolate rocks.
Probably, yeah.
You think he was doing
this was in the middle of like, is it Idaho? Is that the big
chocolate
ranchy?
I don't know. Wyoming,
maybe Montana.
We both just said Montana at the same time. I love it. I know there's Butte, Montana. Montana's one state I haven't been to. Manders did wrestle there, and I said, yeah, that makes sense.
What's the one that's like the purse with the strap going up?
Oh, Idaho.
Okay, Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho is purse with the strap going up. Yeah, I wrestled in Idaho at what I think was possibly a white supremacist bar during COVID.
A real green room kind of vibe.
Real like no masks and I'm concerned kind of vibe. Like a few people came to see me in Idaho and then left their treats there because they were like, this is very unsafe. And I was like, oh, I know. And then a goat showed up in the middle of the show. Do you remember this?
I don't think
so. A goat showed up in the middle of the show and told us to get out. Did we never discuss this?
I don't
This was
think
probably
so.
this. When did we? This might have been like right pre-podcast.
Yeah.
On the party bus.
No.
Oh, we might have to go back to this story
Oh.
one day. This is good. So, okay, wait. You know what's going on right now, right? The slap boxing, the slap fighting.
Oh yeah.
All the wrestlers are over
Yeah.
at the combine and the
Yeah.
slap fighting. I'm worried. I hope they all get paid a ton of money. I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm not here to talk about whatever it is. I'm here to talk about a lot of y'all have done extra work for places where I know they make you take a concussion seminar, and I know they make you like take the Chris Nowinski seminar. And I'm not the one to tell you about concussions, girl. I'm worried about y'all. I don't want y'all to get hurt. They did. My friend Juicy's there, and he is a very large Samoan. I fought against him in tag team matches, and he is like, I caught a dive one time from him with me and Mance, and he's like literally 400 pounds. It's insane. They said he has the strongest neck they've ever seen, that he could hold a whole nother Juicy plus 150 pounds from his neck, the neck strength that he has. And that's like, when they tell you not to headbutt a Samoan, they fucking mean it. You're going to break your own neck trying to headbutt a Samoan like Juicy Finau. And then I'm just thinking about, he has these hands that are, I mean, large like him. And I've had him pop my back before, and that's him like being polite, but like I've never felt spinal compression so deep. And I don't want to ask him all the time because I'm like, oh, dude, like he must get this a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you're tall and they ask if you play basketball. If you're a big dude who looks strong, it's like, would you want to crack my back real quick? But maybe they love it, the power of it. I don't know. If I'm able to do it, like someone for my size, I'm real good at an Alec Price level of like, I can get the squeeze. But for like me or a Manders size person who's like 230 to 250, a Juicy Finau is a game changer when it comes to just and popping everything out. He's going to slap the fuck out of some people. Listen, if there's money in it, go get it. There's not always a ton of money in wrestling. I get it. It's a very competition fueled zone with limited finances. And so if y'all can get big checks on it, do it. But like, also please don't die.
He's gonna break somebody's face.
I want them, and I hope this is what they're trying to do, is maybe add more pizzazz to the whole thing. Because to me, I'm watching people get slapped. I don't care who they are. What?
Like a shiny glove.
They wear a glove?
You said add more pizzazz.
Well, just more like, can we get some, like, you know, when you watch American Ninja Warrior and they're like, this is Devin. He's been training his whole life. You just wanted a fucking sparkle glove like Michael Jackson. I think that goes against the rules. I think I can do it on their non-dominant hand. But I like wanting to hear a little more about the slappers and see a little more in between. There's just like, it's all the slap, you know? And so it's like, how do I stretch that to a long career?
Hear me out.
All right.
They have like 20 objects, and you don't know. So they're approved objects beforehand, but you don't know what they're going to pull out.
Right. What do you gain from that?
The surprise.
The surprise of the slap.
Yeah.
I think that could. But what could these objects be?
Like a rubber chicken.
Okay. What about?
I think you just do a bunch of Muppet bits with this.
What if they let them stick their hands in rubber cement and
Yeah.
then sand, and then slap each other with sandpaper fingers?
Ooh.
And then it was like,
But when
you're talking about swaths of skin
yeah,
just
because you
coming
could start
off.
adding liquids.
Like
and
you'd see
maybe
through
some
my cheeks in
chalk.
2 slaps. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like a really grippy.
Did they do like a slow-mo camera of the face? I'm sure they do, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's like the main shot.
Yeah,
and then
you
they
can
have
get
2
crazy
people
with
behind
it.
them to catch them and catch the thing. I've been watching this guy on Instagram. He's a rock climber, but he's been adding stuff to his hands to make it tougher. Like he's been adding like the dog paw turpentine stuff to where like he can stick razors to his hands and they won't. I say this as a person, like if you feel my hands, they're completely very callous, like purposefully through lifting, through wrestling, through fighting, through just being in the ground, being around dirt. I have very thick, sturdy fingers, but a razor blade would cut me open.
Mm-hmm.
This man has just been putting this dog paw tar on his hands so long for his hands to grip better while he rock climbs and does like free climbing that's very dangerous. He's like, I'm trying to give myself any advantage here, that his skin is impenetrable by like knives. And I think that's so awesome. I want it on my feet.
Those
too.
people are so crazy.
Yeah, but like think of how cool that would be if your hands are never going to cut open.
Yeah.
Like if you go in the bathroom at night and you slap your hand against the wall and the nail goes into your hand
What?
because there's a nail there from there used to be a picture. and it like hurts pretty bad?
No, I don't just go random slapping things in the bathroom.
You don't in the middle of the night when you wait, just like a quick hand. It didn't like pierce it too bad, but yeah. And so I think I get
that was a real story.
Yeah. It didn't like bother me. It was fine. This was a while ago. It was fine.
Giving yourself stigmatas in the middle of the night.
It's a good reason to call out of work. I'll tell you that. Sorry, boss. I got a little of the stigmata. What you have stigma? Yeah, I got the wounds appearing overnight. I don't know. I slapped the wall. Next thing I know, I got wounds. You poke me in the side with a spear. See if that thing drains clear. I don't know when I'm coming back. Hey. I don't know why I'm doing like an Adirondacks comedian kind of thing, but it's really fun. Like a Rodney Dangerfield does stigmata, as he calls it. I had to get out of work the other day. The only thing I could think of was a stigmata. I don't get no respect that came out of the tomb. I saved you from all your sins. What are we doing here? How's that? Do you think that's a character I should continue with? Hey, you need an extra nail? I can just put my feet together, boss. It's fine.
I do like Rodney Dangerfield just doing just like Catholic esoteric.
I went to Catholic school. It doesn't work. I'm a Jewish man. Yeah, I love Rodney Dangerfield. I love Jewish comedy. I love the Adirondacks Mountains. And I love rubbing turpentine and paw solution on my hands to make them thick so I can never be cut again.
I think it was him that had that story about being out to dinner and running into Frank Sinatra and him going up to Frank and saying like, "Hey, could you, come say hi to my, like I'm on a date right now. Like it would just really be nice if you would, come over and, like act that, we're friends and everything." And so he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then he walks up to his table and he goes, "Rodney, how's it going?" And he goes, "Frank, can't you see him in the middle of eating here?"
What are you bothering me while I'm having a meal with a beautiful lady? Keep it to yourself. I'll see you at the club.
So good.
Just fantastic. I think it was. I think there were dark times back then too, from what I hear about how you had to operate around all the mafia people. So,
yeah.
I think a good rib now and then is a nice way to ease the tension of like, if you want to perform at our club, you also have to know that your family's at risk if you tell people who's paying you. Fun stuff. So we get to Portland. Portland is like a myth. Like it's got some kind of weird, like I think it has witch energy, but it's good witch energy. If it's good, it switches a lot. And every time I've been to Portland before, it's been like a little dreary or cloudy, and it was perfectly sunny this time. Like it was better weather in Portland than it was in all of Los Angeles. Ooh. It was overcast and cloudy the whole day in Los Angeles, but when we got to Portland, it was sunny and beautiful. We landed super early though. And we ended up just getting a car and kind of going on a little bit of an exploration around Portland and seeing all of it and seeing the port of Portland. I think that's so fun. Every time you go to the airport or you're driving around, the port of Portland. Well, why do you think it's called Portland? Because it's a land of ports. You don't have to call it the port of Portland and the land of ports. That's the port land. It just seems like a little overkill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew I had a whole different challenge on this very day. This is the first singles match we've ever had. And this is for me and Maki fucking Ito, the cutest in the world. The first time, we discussed this like years ago. If you haven't been a listener, you would know. When we had Bussy, me and Ali Koch, versus Maki and Nick Gage, I was asked by like the Japanese management that was over there with the companies at the time to not have any contact with Maki Ito. Like, you don't touch Maki Ito. We don't want intergender contact with her. We don't like, no offense, but we don't like know you. And then they saw my match with the Pheromones, which is, some would say, the only match that's ever been stopped due to too much ass eating. And they said, you can do whatever you want. So they just let me have full reign after they saw it. They were like, not only is he safe, he's an idiot. This is perfect. Like, the only reason he even wants to touch her is to get dropped on his fucking head by her and make it look incredible. So me and Maki were paired up on this very day, and I was going around Portland and vibing. I sent you, this guy was playing the Dr. Mario song on his keyboard out in the street. The vibes were immaculate. We ate a bunch of weird pizzas from this pizza place.
That video was so fun.
It was great. I was like, Dr. Mario, he's playing I had to give him $1. I love it. It's just everybody's out having fun, but a lot of the restaurants there were like 45-minute waits. The pizza place, I mean, this is like good fresh pizza. I had some like buffalo chicken pizza and some kind of veggie pizza and something else. It doesn't matter what kind. I also got some non-alcoholic beers because I was feeling the Portland vibe is kombucha or non-alcoholic beer is like what they're selling at all these restaurants. It's not like have a Coca-Cola. It's like, do you want kombucha or non-alcoholic beer? What about just beer? And they're like, no, you can, but like who's drinking these days? You know, it feels very clean and beautiful. I'm sure there's a lot of drinking.
The only
still.
alcohol's in the kombucha
And a little heroin. Just no, they've cleaned up a good bit around that area, and it looks very nice, and it's wonderful, and it's safe to eat pizza. But Maki was freaking out a little bit because she was like, "Where are you? Where are you?" While I'm just like vibing Portland throughout the day, and I was like, "Maki, we're good." And I got there, and I got to tell people, this match with Maki, there's nothing I like more than seeing an opponent who like they trust me, they're good, they're there, they're ready to put in the work, but they like don't expect to have the most fun of their life. And then we had this match, and she was like, Effy, that was so much fun. That was so exciting. Now, I haven't showed you the clip yet, but she did post it, which like I appreciate. I wanted to perform for Maki to start our match, and I performed a rendition of Mandy by Barry Manilow that was titled Maki. And I need you to hear how smart I am. I sang her the song, and she hated it, right? And everyone was booing me, and I was crying. And eventually she felt bad. So she came to check on me, and I scooped her little ass up, and I grabbed that microphone again, and I changed all the lyrics to be about how, fuck Maki, I'm going to beat your ass. And during my showboating and peacocking and parading, she did in fact find a way out of me holding her on my shoulders, hit me in the nuts, and threw me by my nipples, and then proceeded to beat my ass around the room. Now I did get a few good licks in, right? Got a few good licks in, but I can't say that I didn't take a beating of a lifetime. And I really love taking a beating like that because Maki is someone who, depending on who she is in the ring with, has additional capabilities. And you can guess at how those capabilities are found. But I'll say this, Gringo Loco is called the base god for a reason. And there's a reason they want all the new high-flying luchadors with someone like Gringo Loco who actually knows that this is a work. We're working together, and we're going to work together to make it as cool as possible. Let me tell you, Maki weighs nothing. Maki is the lightest, and I am a giant boy now. And I can just fling her around and then dump myself on my head with the ease of a lifetime. And this whole match is me just like catch her from the air, catch her from the sky, drop myself on my head, spin and dump on my head. There is a scene where this is actually, I can't believe we're about to, this is the most incredible Makito story I can tell. Holy shit. Earlier in the day, I was talking with Brett, and Maki came up, and we were kind of talking as a team. You know, we're going to have a fight. And Brett said, Maki, you should Hulk up. And Maki said, what are you talking about? And I said, Hulk up, like Hulk Hogan. And she goes, I don't know. And I said, hold up. And I pull up a clip. And it's Hulk doing the Hulk thing, which this is, in my American brain, what pro wrestling is. Like, if you were like, pro wrestling, this is what most people are thinking. He does this, and then he gets punched in the face, but he keeps doing this. And he gets punched in the face, and he keeps doing this, and he points at you. And then you throw a punch, and he blocks it, and he punches you. Then you throw a punch, and he blocks it, and he punches you. Then you throw a punch, and he blocks it, he punches you, he sends you off, big boot to the face, Hulk up, pose, hit the ropes, leg drop, 1, 2, 3. Okay? This is the sequence. I thought everyone knew this sequence. I show the sequence to Maki. She doesn't get it. She doesn't care really. Like, she gets it. She sees it. She doesn't see why, like, this would be the thing to reference. She's like, what do we... And Brett goes, come on, Maki. You watch wrestling. And she looks at Brett and looks at me and goes, no, I don't watch wrestling. I do wrestling. We then proceeded to do the whole Hulk Hogan comeback, which she kind of vibed her way. And I have to pat myself on the back for this one moment, which is off the ropes. Maki Ito is 5 feet tall. I am a little over 6 feet tall. If you raise your boot to the sky as high as you can go, and you're 5 feet tall, you're not coming close to the top of my head. So what do? And I want people to watch this. I fully throw myself limbo style, matrix back roll style under her boot to where it looks like she got it under my head, and got me down, and then she did her big headbutt. But alas, Gay Hogan's actually more powerful than Hulk Hogan. I kicked the fuck out. Now, how did I end the match? Yes, I did catch her out of the air, spin her about 20 times, and then drop her on her head, okay? Yeah, but was it one of the most valiant efforts from a superstar to take me out? It was close. It was up there. I think that's now my 23rd defense of the championship as we roll through the defenses. It's been very, very interesting of who I've gotten to face and what I've gotten to see and the depth of the opponents. But I do have a feeling that as we get into the summer, I'm going to see something a little more concrete and have to focus my energies, maybe towards one or two people instead of just the whole world coming at me. And I think that'll be more interesting. I will say this, Peter, these next few months, they're going to be a wrestling test. They're going to be a test of keeping up and doing. I'm going to be on tour with the Juggalos a good bit. I'm going to be out with GCW a lot. I'm going to be doing a bunch of other shows, especially in June, July, busy months. And then I'm going to be returning to Japan. I'm going to be returning in the fall to England. I'm going to be returning to Germany, I believe. And so many of these things are ahead and we're figuring it all out. But I will say, I think as a wrestler this year has taught me that there isn't really anything that you can't put in front of my plate, travel-wise, do-wise, whatever-wise, that we can't figure out the best solution to, or at least put our best efforts into to make it happen. And that's how we're going to treat these chickens. Same way. You know what? Things are going to come up. We're going to have to figure shit out. We're going to have to do stuff. And guess what? We're going to do it. And we're going to keep those chickens rolling. I love these chickens. I'm glad we're attached. Once they start spitting these fucking eggs out of their ass, I'm really going to love these chickens. Getting to eat a chicken egg yesterday made it all worth it. We're waiting on the girls now. They said they might get a little nervous here. They might need a little space.
Yeah.
We're letting them go.
Yeah.
They're going to ovulate. It's going to be great. And we got some oyster shells coming. They like them for calcium. Bark, 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 bark.